welcome to my TV life coach. I'm Deandra Reviews. Check out deandrareviewsatall.com where I review entertainment for the light it gives. And of course, follow and subscribe on my artist journey. On my TV life coach, I review some of the classic television that has inspired me as an artist, actress, singer, but of course, songwriter. Today, we're talking about Gilmore Girls. If you move down the road. Okay, we're done. I kind of like binged watched Gilmore Girls. I was never into the series. I never watched it until like for some reason this past week it became like it's one of the most perfect shows to like have on, in the sense of like things are happening and whatever you catch and whatever you don't. You feel like invested and unburdened all at once. Like I know I've seen the episodes but like in depth now, probably not. And I rewatched. I was like, yeah, Logan, Jess, Dean, Logan, Jess, Dean. And one of the ways it has influenced me as a songwriter, and I've been really thinking about that, especially with my upcoming single coming out, Second Chance, September 14th, is that I want to write songs that aren't just about grieving loss, but summoning and manifesting like gain, and believing that whatever you gain can help you grow and make you better. And I think that that's what's the ultimate charm about the Gilmore Girls, Lorelai and Rory. They kind of mess up their lives and grow. They don't always make the right choice and could be rather annoying, but yet they can also be sweet and funny and heal themselves. And I think that, Gilmore Girls and Friends have become like this, under this microscopic lens of, were they actually that good? Are these shows about privilege? And I think ultimately what these shows are about is the relationships and how who you love and who loves you back totally impacts how you love yourself. Whether it was Friends or Gilmore Girls, these were people that liked each other, that may have gotten flustered and frustrated and even effed each other over, because there's that big moment where, Rory and Lorelai fight for a season and she's with Logan now and she's dropping out of Yale. But there's this bond that she has with her mom that I think is really admirable and dreamy. And I think for a lot of people who had a strict mom, like myself, the idea of having such an easy best friendship with your parent is awesome. And it's something that I don't, when I look back on my life and when I look back on the songs that I write, I don't think I write like a person who's had that yet. I don't think I write like a person who has been in love with their friend, with their best friend. I've had friends that became lovers or lovers that became friends, but that kind of unconditionality and funness and lightness and playfulness is something I really want to experience. And when I wrote Second Chance, it was talking about my relationship with my dad, who I hadn't spoken to, and we just had this weekend to see if we could actually heal and kind of build the bridge again. And I realized there was no bridge to build, and that was really, really hard for me. And it's something that in some ways Rory goes through with her own dad, of just kind of realizing this guy isn't going to be exactly my dad, not in the ways I need and want. And I think Second Chance is about that illusion of kind of realizing you give too many second chances to the same person, realizing that you either decide to be okay with the fact that it'll never be okay, that they won't be who you want or need, or you move on. And I think when we look at the relationships of Lorelai, her boyfriends, but really Rory, Dean, Jess, and Logan, what we see is that she's the one who's getting the second chances. She's the one that's just trying to figure things out. And I don't know, I think she's really fascinating because a lot of women can't say, we know what it is to be the one that they didn't forget. They never forgot, the one that got away. We don't feel like that. We don't necessarily always know that experience from the one that actually got away. We feel like one that we loved got away. And I'm really interested in writing songs like that, songs that, and eventually choosing acting roles like that, where I'm missed and where I miss, and it's out of purity and joy. And I think that's something you definitely see in all her relationships. I don't know whose team I'm on. I liked that Dean was responsible and good to her, but he was a little possessive. I loved that Jess and her had this like really deep, rich connection that, it's kind of like you meet the right person at the wrong time. He was just a hot mess, and then she became a hot mess, and we get the feeling in the 10-year reunion, a year in the life, that they are going to eventually end up together because they're both in this kind of clearing path. And then ultimately we get Logan, who just kind of lit her up and made her feel magical and majestic. But I don't think she necessarily always got over the messiness of his privilege. And rightfully so. Like he just felt like a prince that was unhappy that with the fact that he was going to inherit a kingdom. And Rory, with her own little kingdom, was like, what are you talking about? Their benefits. And if you don't like it, then mature. And I think in the end, it was such a generational full circle moment. And it's something that I approach in my music, of her landing in the same similar situation as her mom, but older, just with this kid. Who's the dad? We kind of know it's Logan, though. And what will become of her? Single? Will she end up with Luke? She'll end up with Jess. She won't end up with Luke. She'll end up with Jess, who's like the copy paste of Luke. But she ended up very similar to her mom. And when you think about it, Logan is very similar to Christopher. Anyway, the point is, I think Gilmore Girls teaches you the power of love, especially parental love, at pushing you to become a better version of you, even when you don't know what that means, and kind of not putting a time limit or concaving to failed goals when it comes to just making sure you get better as you. It sucks if the life doesn't get better, the lifestyle doesn't get better, but the life, your soul can. Remember that. And check out my music. It comes out September 14th. I'm really excited. It's new. I've been editing and mastering and mixing myself and growing as an artist, kind of like Rory. And, I'll find my Logan or Jess and Dean soon too. Yeah, check it out. Is it paused?